And now we have a Carleton U alum working in the aerospace engineering industry, a community builder with a blend of discipline, ambition, and authenticity. Tonight, we dive into his journey of grit, growth, and more. We have with us Sabby Puri, founder and CEO of 613 Events and the 613 Network. Thank you so much, Sabby, for coming to the show.
Thanks, Karina, for the warm welcome. I really appreciate you taking this opportunity for me and bringing me live on your show. And before we begin this interview, I think what I want to really express here is through the means of this platform, if I'm able to spread my message to a wider community, I think it serves the purpose. So I'm really excited for it. Thank you.
I love that. Thank you so much for coming here. I'm actually very curious about this interview and I really want to learn a lot more about you. So let's just start off by you telling us a little bit more about yourself.
So my name's Sabby Puri. I was born in India, but I grew up in many different countries around the world. I consider myself fortunate to have experienced a lot of different diverse communities, different cultures, and to be able to grow up in them. So that long-lived experience gave me this opportunity to think creatively, and I bring that different perspective into the things I do in real life. And for the last 10 years, I've been a resident of Ottawa. I did my high school. Further than that, then I did my bachelor's, and I work full-time as an aerospace engineer. I've been in the fitness industry as well for over 10 years, which has taught me a lot. So bringing all these things together is what's giving me the recipe to move forward.
You're literally the definition of wearing multiple hats.
Thank you.
But yeah, so maybe you can tell us a little more about your journey of like living in many countries. I know you like tapped onto it, but like further on like how it like kind of shaped you to getting to work with like fitness and also like the engineering stuff that you're working with, and how these have shaped your current ventures.
It all started when I was 4, when my mom got posted in Philippines, and at an early age I think it's very difficult to cope up with the diverse communities and different cultures, and when you're relocating every couple of years. But now that I look back, I think it was the best thing I could have ever asked for growing up. It gave me the opportunity to think on the spot, bond with people outside of interests from different communities. And I think the biggest key takeaway I can bring from that is a lot of people like to bond on shared values.
Yeah.
I think when we talk about building communities, a lot of times it's a superficial reflection of what people like to do, and we fail to touch upon the ideas of how people connect with true values. So that's the intent behind 613 Events and 613 Networks, where 613 Events is like the entry to the door through the means of events, where the actual value proposition comes in the back door of getting into that community building network space where you're reaping long-term value benefits.
Very interesting. So, and I love this whole like I feel like cultural growth and cultural like I think that really builds into building a community that's also honing cultural diversity and things like that. So,
right.
Like, I'm really looking forward to like diving into that further. Where did fitness come into all of this?
So growing up, I was always into sports, and I think this mindset of always improving myself, progression was something I was always keen on. Fitness gave me this opportunity to always work on myself, constantly improve my abilities to perform better on the field. I was a professional sportsman before. So that translates perfectly well into my academic career, into my professional career, and onto my entrepreneurial endeavors as well, where I think discipline is a foundation that I picked up from fitness. And over the years, almost 10 years of doing it in and out, I think just mentally prepares me for all the challenges that brings it.
I love that. Okay. Thank you for that. So we'll dive into 613 Events. What motivated you to start that?
I think it was a dream the 21-year-old me had envisioned back when I was a student. Right after COVID, I think there was a big need of bringing people back together, interacting offline socially, and everything with, sorry to say this out loud, but I think with the technology being advanced and social media taking up, we're missing the offline interaction that people used to have prior to these times. So just the motivation is to bring people back together and connect with humans.
Absolutely, and I can really like relate to that because like especially with the pandemic and technology coming into place, it really changed the way we started to do events and stuff after, and I feel like that personal relation is kind of like falling apart. So like with the last event that I got to attend of yours, it was so nice to see all like the different like game interactions, but it's like kind of like everyone has something to do, but there's also stuff to encourage people to work together. So like, I thought that was really cool. Which kind of brings me to what is your most memorable event with 613 Events?
Well, I think the first one's always the closest one to the heart, and I did my debut with the first one last fall, or early this fall, which was in September, was the Fake House Party. And again, the big motivation why I feel like that was a successful event for me personally was I was able to accomplish what I wanted to serve. The purpose was accomplished. I was able to bring along a lot of different communities, and a lot of young individuals were there who were enjoying a different variety of experience, to say it at least.
No, that event was like definitely a hit. Like I know when I walked in, there was like a wide variety of different like age groups and like from where people were from. And like at first it's like, okay, you're like, okay, there's a whole bunch of stuff. I see some games, I see like arcades, but like from an organization standpoint, like you had people really like welcoming people to like play games and try stuff, and then one thing led to another, and then there's a tug of war and all of that fun stuff. So that was really cool for sure. And I'm really looking forward to seeing like what your next events are going to be like. So you spoke a little bit about the 613 events, but the bigger picture was 613 Network. So maybe if you can like share to us about what that's about.
So the 613 Network is essentially about building a community ecosystem. And this ecosystem of different communities is basically, the foundation of it is coming from a value proposition standpoint as compared to short-term interests. And what I mean by value proposition is a lot of people tend to connect into smaller communities based off of short-term needs, which could be going out on a Saturday night is a short-term need in your 20s, let's say, or going out to single dating events. Right. When you're looking for a partner. But then once you're done with that short-term purpose, you disengage with that community. Whereas if you're actually building a community that's solely driven based off of the values you wish to live your life with, which is to build, to grow, to collaborate, to provide value, to give back to community, I think if you build a community around those, it's something which you could be a lifelong active member of. So that's the intent.
That's really cool. That's really deep. That's really cool. I can see how the multiple like Ottawa is a growing community of like South Asians.
Absolutely.
And beyond that. And now there's like a million events. There's like 50 Diwali events, 50, like there's so many of those. So like, would you say as part of your vision, like it would be kind of to like umbrella over those to like kind of give people what they want, what they're looking for, but under a thing where you would build a community to like partner with those various communities at the same time?
It's a two-step answer, right? Again, going back to when 613 events started, right, back in 2021, I feel like there was a big need, and a lot of these players in the markets, they're all good friends of mine. We used to study together, party together. Now they're doing all these different concepts, which I'm excited about, I think. And behind the scenes, we all talk, we all collaborate, we all do things in a way that's not as well known to the audience. So there's a lot of collaborations that happen on the back front. The end goal is the same.
Right.
To provide a better experience for all the consumers out there who are wishing to attend to these events. One thing in addition to that is I think my vision extends beyond nightlife events.
Okay.
I think I want to get into providing a platform for these communities where it's not just an entertainment factor, there's value proposition, there's learning, there's growth.
Right.
So that in the mix, if I'm able to find right partners in the industry, I think this can be an explosive growth.
Absolutely. And actually this brings me to the next question, which is with your ecosystem, how are you supporting like local artists and creatives and other people who would be part of this vision of yours?
So I think first of all, somebody who's starting off independently and solo, I think the biggest problem that or the early challenges that they face is not having that support. Not having that someone to say, okay, you're on the right track and whatever you're doing is going to pay off.
Right.
So when you meet like-minded people, I think that gives you that empowerment that comes of like the similar origin. So that's the first thing. The second thing is a lot of times opportunities don't come easy. So when we present a platform, which we would get into the newer event, which is the Live and Loud, it's a platform where we promote a lot of local artists who have never work together collaboratively at a scale. And again, the opportunities are paid opportunities, and then they're getting a lot of brand exposure, and they get to build their own communities as well.
I love that, and as an artist as well.
Absolutely.
I like the sound of that and the collaborative part, and being respected as an artist as well at the same time while growing the platform. So like really cool for that. So what's your like long-term vision for 613 event and network, for the network actually?
Well, the idea is always to have a big funnel where the entry level becomes the events.
Okay.
Because I think that's what people easily reconcile with, and that's what people easily experiment with, as compared to these concrete ideas of having networking events or these community events where there's more value transfers, more learning. I think people do not feel connected to it at the start.
Right.
And especially for the type of audience I wish to target, which are young professionals, students, I think they have that level of incompleteness when it comes to attending these events, because I personally felt it when I was at that age where I felt like in order for me to gain a certain value, there was not much for me to provide. So as a young professional, yes, you want to go to these places, network with people of like high status, high net worth, but then you'd always feel out of place when the proposition shifts, like what value do you bring?
Right.
So I'm trying to build that ecosystem from the ground up where it's not about what you provide, but it's also about what you gain first.
Right.
And during that process, it's always about giving first before receiving. So if everyone can contribute a little bit, that's my goal as well. I think we can establish a community that strives on empowering each other and growth.
Absolutely. I'm a big believer of like people who lift each other up in communities, and I feel like there's space for everyone at the table, and like I love
Absolutely.
your initiative for that.
Thank you so much.
So moving forward to like what your upcoming events are gonna look like. I know you mentioned like Live and Loud, so like what's the next 613 events and network events are gonna look like? Yeah.
So the next two, without giving away too much from the next year's pipeline, the first one's on New Year's Eve, and it's in downtown. It's a nightclub party. Again, when we say nightclub parties, I think people have a traditional connotation of what to expect. So I think we're changing the game this time with bringing a live band performance, and what better way to do it than launch our own platform where a lot of these young artists get together, and well, they've been working hard behind the scenes. I don't think anyone spends 20, 25 plus hours just preparing what they're going to sing for a 3-hour party, right? So when I see these guys putting in the work, I feel like if I'm able to provide them a platform and people actually come and enjoy and support them, it serves the purpose, and then end of the day, people want to party and have a good time, they're having it regardless. So
Right, so this is on New Year's Eve.
This is on New Year's Eve in downtown, and the next one is a dinner dance social.
Okay.
Again, before we dive into the details, just an overview. There is, again, it's more so about people who are trying to escape the chaos of nightlife and clubbing, but they still want to have like a social meeting, a social gathering where they're meeting individuals more so than enjoying that vibe and atmosphere. So connections, valuing people, changing networks, that's all it's about. And then if you pair it with dinner and dance and food, I guess it solves 2 stones.
You get everything that you need from their
Perfect.
food. Food fixes everything.
Food and dance fixes everything.
But I do like that there's a bit more opportunity for like building connections. While I also do love like the party scene and just like there, but it's also sometimes it gets like kind of repetitive at one point. So
Absolutely.
It definitely is nice that you're creating more diversity in that aspect. So like the dinner dance social, like you spoke about it, but like what was your motive of like creating it?
Well, again, getting back to the idea of building value-based communities, right? We kind of categorize communities in 3 different ways. One's around cultural.
Right.
There's a lot of communities that are based on cultural values, so we wish to target those. There's a lot of communities that are based around short-term interest. Now, for instance, if people start enjoying afternoon get-together parties like on a patio or on a rooftop or something like that, we could build a community around it, have them engage with each other, collaborate. But the third and the most valuable part is when you build communities on certain long-term values, which could be of growth, prosperity, and again, because we have a lot of I personally know a lot of people in our own community who've done exceptionally well for the community, and all they wish to do is find these opportunities to give back.
Right.
So it becomes a great opportunity for them. And for the other side of the receiving side, where people who are attending those events primarily get to interact with them, get those value, it becomes a networking event. It's also social, it's not so formal, so you're losing your guard down and then you're going into these events. So that's the entire intent there.
Awesome. Thank you for the detail. Your tagline is socializing made meaningful. So what would that look like in practice?
Well, it's very simple, right? We humans we're social creatures. We like to interact, and as I mentioned, technology's taken the best of us. So getting back to the roots, I mean, we still do our best liking each other's posts on Instagram, sharing stories, commenting, or saying hi when we exchange paths or cross each other on the street. But again, those interactions have lost meaning.
Yep.
So, and what better way to deliver meaning than providing a great experience as well as providing them with good value?
Right.
So if I'm able to do that, I think I can make those socializing events more meaningful.
Yep, best of both worlds with that.
Absolutely.
Like when I came to your event, like I noticed that there was a varied group of people attending it. What's the kind of audience that DDS is targeting?
Well, specifically DDS goes into, again, like I mentioned, 3 different kind of communities, right? That would fall into, the fake house party would fall into an example of a short-term interest or like a hobby kind of a community, where a house party is a concept people choose to live with for a couple of years, then they're out of it, right? But again, we wish to bring some more events which are based off of cultural communities, some around longer-term values. So it's really a matter of whoever's up for interacting with like humans and whoever's up for going to these different kind of events, they're our audience.
Okay. Yeah, because I know for the house party, it was kind of interesting because it's like obviously anyone who's in university or high school, like for them it's like, oh yeah, house party. But then there's also like nostalgia for, now I'm gonna age myself, but for people who are like graduated, like alumni or whatever, who are working professionals, like it's also cool for us to like kind of, hey, it's been a while, like this is gonna be fun to kind of go back for the vibe. So like I think it's really nice that you cater to a wider variety of groups too. That's
the intent I try to work with, and if that's the feedback I'm getting from you, then I feel like I'm doing a great job there.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
Thank you.
So what is Live and Loud in more detail? Like I know you've been over it, and like what inspired you to like launch it beyond like 613 events and everything?
So in my journey, I know I've founded 613 Events very recently, but I've always been behind the scenes, and with anything in general that I've done in life, I think a lot of people have supported me. So when I choose to work with creativity and something that has a value proposition as well. So the music side of it brings the creativity where these artists combine and collaborate, whereas the value proposition is there for them as so for me. So for me, it's just like another event, another band performing, right? That's the utmost value I get. But for those individuals, I think they're getting a platform to showcase their talent, their art, their creativity. I think for them, it's a life-changing event or a life-changing opportunity, to say the least. And again, that's the entire Live and Loud concept. And it's not going to be contained to just a New Year's event. Like we want to make these like pop-ups more social. Like a Live and Loud could collaborate with a dinner dance social and provide live experience. So that's something which how I envision the Live and Loud to be a modular platform where there could be a lot of performing arts, and you're very well aware of how we can have performances fit into the picture of entertainment experience.
For sure, yeah.
So it's all about building that craft, giving it that platform, and empowering growth.
So in addition to like all the different hats you do, you also wrote a book. So maybe you can kind of like share with us how you first of all decided to...
Yeah, well, here's a token of appreciation for you. It's a signed copy. It's not yet released, but I would love for you to give it a quick read.
Wisdom is power?
Yes, wisdom is indeed power. So this book was something that began from self-introspection, personal discovery, and I would say a lot of my growth is dedicated to this book. It talks about how certain aspects of our life, like our choices, our habits, the decisions we make, or the way we choose to deal with our fears, our stress, our goals in life, and everything that we do on a daily basis if we are able to improve it slightly, like we've read books on like atomic habits, right? So I think doing better comes from a point of knowing more about things, acknowledgement.
Right.
So acknowledging these areas of life on what certain triggers make you respond a certain way, or what certain habits lead you to a certain direction in life. If you get more clarity on it, you essentially unlock more powers of controlling your own behavior, your own actions more responsibly. So growth, the idea is that growth begins internally, and every time I read this book, I think it proves the point. I still pick up a few different points and that I still introspect and improve in my life to this date.
Love that. Continuous improvement for that. So
Absolutely.
I will definitely have a read for that. So thank you for sharing that with me. And I think this is bringing us to the end of our interview. If people wanted to reach out to you or learn more about your events, how do they go about that?
So my socials are the 613 Network and 613 Events on Instagram and Facebook. My personal Instagram is Sabby Puri, so feel free to reach out to me directly and connect with me. And if you have any questions regarding my business or in general, please drop an email to the 613network@gmail.com.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that. And any last message or anything, takeaways that you want to share with our viewers?
Not much, but I would want to leave everyone with just a little note that I think when I was in the struggling years of my journey, I met a lot of people who gave me that hope, that support, that's got me to the position I am. I wish to do the same, and the only way to grow exponentially is collaborations. I'm all big on collaborations, and the more we can collaborate on right values and right set of futuristic, let's say, goals, I think we can achieve things in a much more precise manner, in a better manner, as well as create like a market that has never been done before.
Very well said. This was super insightful.
Thank you, Karina.
Thanks again, Sabby, for joining us and sharing all of your experience with our audience. I wish you all the best with your upcoming event, and I will hopefully be there at more events if I can. So
thank you so much, Karina.
thank you so much.